everybody. This is Lisa, the original designing diva. Um, this is about the 5th time I've started this video. Oh, and excuse my hands. I've been painting, so I have paint and stuff all over them, glue and paint. The video I planned on doing was how to decorate your Faux Dori with just items from the Dollar Tree. And as I got into the video, and tried to explain things, I realized it was way too confusing. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the things that are available at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to show you the book that I made and the dashboard that I made. And then I'm going to show you how to cut down the folder that I used to make the book and how to make an insert. So hopefully this video won't be too long. If it starts to go long, then I may do it in 2 separate videos. But first, what I'm going to do is show you what's available at the Dollar Tree. First thing is washi. They have these little packs of washi. They're narrow washi, but there's 7 rolls in here. I don't think it says how much is on a roll, but I've used them, and you get quite a bit out of 1 roll. You can see they're fairly thick. There's different color combinations. This isn't the only color combination that they have. Most of them are darker shades. This is kind of my go-to because they're lighter, more vibrant shades, but most of them are darker shades. So you get 7 rolls for $1. Every now and then you may catch the regular size washi. They're very hard to find, and sometimes they're in the automotive section. Sometimes they're in it where the binder clips and things are. Sometimes they're with the craft section. You just kind of have to look and be lucky enough to find them, because it seems like once they're there, I know I'll buy a whole bunch of them when they're there because they're $1. So, you just kind of have to play it by ear, and if you find it, great, get them. These seem to be there all the time now. And it's washi, or it's tape. It's tape on the back, and you color them. You can color them in. There's different designs. I think there's 3 different designs. This is one. If you Bible journal, just as an aside, if you Bible journal and you have the journaling Bibles with the 2-inch margins on the side, these fit perfectly in the 2-inch margins. So if you just want to, fill in a margin and don't have anything particular to say that day, color one of these in and stick them in the margin. So that's washi. They seem to have a lot of sticky notes lately. They used to have just these, like these little mini ones, and then the regular size ones. They still have these. There's 400. They come in different colors. You can pick your color combination. And they still have the regular full-size ones. But the last time I was there, they had these. There's 100 sheets. I think there were more colors. I think there were colors in addition to these 2. But these are cute, so I picked those up. These are full-size sticky notes. There's 150 of them. This one says approve, this one says urgent, and this one says to do. So those are another option for sticky notes. And then they had these flags. This one is 500 flags. And they're really pretty colors. They're really vibrant, pretty colors. And these are 6 sets. And there's no labeling on this. I don't know if I picked it up or if the labeling came off or what, but these are both thin enough that you could stick them on a dashboard and they wouldn't take up a lot of space in your book. So those are just some of the sticky notes and page flags that they had. The other thing they had that I used on one of the dashboards I made was these self-laminating sheets. And I didn't, when I looked at them, when I picked them up, these and the paper that I picked up were all in a bin, all jumbled together underneath where the binder clips and paper clips and all that stuff is. So you kind of really had to hunt through the bin to find anything. And I saw self-laminating sheets. I really didn't pay attention to what they were. Basically what they're for photos or recipe cards. And I would so use them for that. They are really cool. They have this piece of acetate, and I guess you put your recipe card or your photo on the laminate sheet, on the acetate, and then you peel this off and just fold it over, and then it's laminated. And they're a little wider than 4 inches by 6 inches. So they're great for that. I would definitely use them for that. What I did was I cut, because I know not everybody has a laminator and not everybody wants to go out and buy a laminator. And so what I did was I cut this part off. I cut the acetate off, which gave you a nice piece of acetate to use. And then I peeled this off and used this to laminate part of the dashboard I did. And granted, they're small, so you can't cover a whole lot with them, but on this, what I did was I just covered the bottom, and then I put my sticky notes on it. So this is the dashboard I made out of a file folder. So you could do that with those. This is the paper that I found buried. I honestly don't know if they have it all the time. I've never noticed it before. Like I said, they were buried in a bin with a whole bunch of other stuff. But they're 6 by 6, and there's 36 sheets in each one. And they're cute. This one is all pinks, all pink paper. I have another one too. I don't know where it is. It's all brights. This is all blue paper. And this one would be nice if you wanted to do like a fall theme in your binder. It's got this one bright in here. I don't know why, but the rest are all pretty much like autumn shades. If you wanted to do that. And the pages are small, but they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They give you 6, 7. They give you 7 sheets of the same design. So even though they're small, you can do an area with them because they give you enough of the same design to work with. So that's the paper. Now this is the Faux Dori I made. I grant you it's not the world's greatest looking Faux Dori. I did the world's cheapest Faux Dori. I caught a lot of flack for that one, so I probably will for this one too. But to me, if somebody wants to try a Faux Dori, if you go on Etsy or you go to Chic Sparrow or Foxy Fix or any of those, or even me, Alchemy, I have laminated ones and I have vinyl ones that are, yes, less expensive. But if you want a nice leather one, you're going to spend $50 or more. If you go like to Chic Sparrow or Foxy Fix, and a lot of them, if you get into full-size traveler's notebooks, they're pricey. Um, so my feeling is if you want to try a Faux Dori, if you want to see if it's a planner system that'll work for you, I would suggest doing something like this and try it. And if it works for you and then you want to make the investment in a leather one or a more expensive one, go for it. But to go out and invest that kind of money in something, if you don't know it's going to work, I mean, everybody has had ring bound planners, and everybody knows about Filofax, and everybody knows about Franklin Covey, and everybody probably has had one at some point in their life. It may be something that they use every day, but I know a lot of people I talk to, I ask them if they know what Midori is or Faux Dori, and they look at me like I have two heads. So it's not a planning system. It's gaining popularity, but it's not a planning system that is, I think, been widely used or people have a lot of experience with. So to me, this is a cheap way to try something to see if it's going to work for you. So, if people want to, if people want to criticize and leave me bad messages on my videos, that's fine. Um, I just, I'm just trying to do something to give people options, cheaper options to try something before investing in a real one. And I know they're not the way real ones are made. I know, I know all that. And I'm not claiming that this is anything that should be, your permanent planner. I'm just giving you options to try a system to see if it works for you. So that being said, the closure I did on this is a headband, and you can get them at the Dollar Tree for like 5 in a pack or some 7 in a pack for $1. So you could either use it this way to close your book or this way to close your book, or if you just want to leave your book open, you can do that too, but that's an option for a closure. Everything in this book except the actual inserts and the elastic is from the Dollar Tree. I couldn't find the elastic I had from the Dollar Tree, and when I was there last week, they didn't have it in stock. They were out of them. So I couldn't get the actual Dollar Tree elastics. Now these are 2mm. The Dollar Tree ones are probably like 1/8 of a millimeter. So when you do this, I would double them or triple them so they have the strength to hold your inserts inside the book. And again, I know this is not how you do Midori or Faux Dori inserts. I know they're not hole punched. I'm just trying to show you an easy way. Not everybody has hole punches. Not everybody wants to be, it's hard. It is actually hard to, space out your holes and thread the elastic through and all that stuff. You don't need to do that to just try a system. You can just run your elastic through the book, run it through your insert, run it through your insert like that, run it through the outside of the book, and tie it. And then just tie them all together. And it'll do the job, and you don't have to worry about learning how to thread elastic. You don't have to worry about making the holes. You don't have to worry about any of that. You can just very simply get an elastic bound system without going through all the work. This is a file folder. This is the file folder I used. And this I've had for some time. I did get it at the Dollar Tree, but I've had this for a while, so they may not have this particular folder any longer. But that's what I made this out of, and I cut it down, and I will show you how to cut it down. I lined the inside, I reinforced the spine. I put some of the paper on the top of the inside. It has a pocket in the front. It has a pocket in the back. And this is the back of it, the front of it. And these are the inserts covers that I did. Now these are inserts I had. Some of these I've bought. Some of these I've made. But these are inserts I had. I'll show you an easy way to make inserts also. But this is the paper I used. I used the Dollar Tree paper and the Dollar Tree washi. So this is from the pink and the blue, and I did half pink and half blue, put the washi around. This is the front, and this is the back. And they also have these flag clips at the Dollar Tree. You get 6 of them. There's 3 different designs. There's 2 of each design. The only complaint I had about these was they're very tall. I cut mine down. But that's just my personal preference. If if you like them taller, that's fine. But I will say the paperclip part of it is very nice. They're very nice paper clips. They're very sturdy. They're heavy, and they don't tear. They glide smoothly over your paper. They don't tear your paper. I've had paper clips that I put them on and it grabs the paper and tears your paper. These don't. They slide on very smoothly. They're very nice paper clips. So even if you just get them for the paper clips and make your own little top on them, they're worth it for $1. This is the back of that one. This is the second insert that I did. And this I did with the pink paper, and I did some pink washi and some blue washi. This is a Dollar Tree sticker. Dollar Tree has tons of stickers. So that's a Dollar Tree sticker. And this is the back. And this one I left a little longer. You can see this one I still cut down. And it's still pretty long. But I left it longer because for some reason this book is shorter than the other books. I don't know why I made it shorter. I must have used it in a smaller book. But I left the flag longer so it would be at the same height as the other flags. But you can see how long that is, and that's still cut down. And that's the back of this folder. And this is when I did all in blues with some pink washi. That's the front, and that's the back. I think they're pretty. They're very pretty folders. I would definitely use these in a book of mine. This one I really like. This is my favorite, the blues. And what I do when I fit my book, when I fit the paper on my book, is I line it up where I want it. I glue it down or tape it down or whatever you do. And then I fold this over and make a crease. And then I open it up and cut it. And when you do that, you cut it up against your book and it'll fit perfectly. You'll have a perfect fit on your book. And you don't have to worry about measuring and any of that stuff because trust me, it's very hard to measure them. I don't know why you measure them and then you put them on and they're not right. So for me, this is the easiest way to do it. So what I did was the parts I cut off, I put one on the bottom and one on the top. So it gave it a little more design interest. And then this is the back. This is the back pocket with the piece of paper on top. So that's the book I made. Now the inserts are very simple. And you can use either regular printer paper. You can use printer paper. You can use graph paper. I don't think the Dollar Tree has either. But what they do have that you could use is, I've seen them. They have pads of drawing paper. And I don't know what size they are. They're bigger, I think they're bigger than 8.5 by 11. So you would need to cut them down. You need to start with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, okay? But if you got one of those pads, they would be fine. You start with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and you fold it in half. And of course, that's not a perfect fold, but you get the idea. Fold it in half. And then you do that for as many sheets as you want in your insert. Now, the caveat to that is the more paper you add to an insert, I'll try and show you. If I can get it. What's going to happen is you add pages to the inside. You can see, as you add pages to the inside, they stick out here. I don't know if you can see that. Because the pages on the inside are they actually end up being longer than the pages on the outside because they're inside. That makes sense. So you need to trim that down, and the more pages you add, the more you're going to need to trim them down. But all you do is just, you want them. I think typical Midori size is 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. I normally don't do this on this paper trimmer. I have a big paper trimmer, but if you have a paper trimmer, then that's all you do. If you don't have a paper trimmer, you can use an X-Acto knife, or you can use scissors. Just, measure your 4 1/4 inches down here, measure it in the middle, measure it at the top, draw a line, and then just cut on your line until you get the size you want. Okay? You can round the corners if you want. You can leave them square if you want. One of the things I do recommend is to make a little divot in the center of the back. Just cut a little like that. Because what that does is when your elastic goes through, it snugly fits in that little niche there. Okay. If you want to round the corners, if you have a corner rounder, you can do that with a corner rounder, or you can just do it like that with a pair of scissors. Okay. So that's how you make the paper part of your insert. It's pretty simple. Most, I think, Faux Doris are 8 1/4. So, but you can make yours if you're making it out of a folder to save yourself cutting. Just leave it 8 1/2, okay, and just worry about your width. All right, does that make sense? Fold piece 8 1/2 and 11 1/2. Leave your height the same. Don't change it. Cut it once it's folded. Cut it down to 4 1/4 wide. Make a little niche in the center of the spine. And if you want to round your corners, round your corners. Okay? So that's the paper part. To make a cover for your insert, these I know they always have at the Dollar Tree. And I think they come 10 in a pack for $1. All right? So what you're going to do is you're going to make it a little bit bigger than your inserts. So make sure you're cutting the open end. Don't cut the part that's folded. So you can make it 4.5. Okay. Cut it down to 4.5. And this you're going to have to trim. So just trim it down to your 8.5. And again, you can do this with a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife, whatever you want. Just, again, measure your 4.5 inches across and your 8.5 inches high, and make sure you're cutting on the open end. And then just put your inserts in, and there's your insert cover. And then you can, of course, round the corners here. Again, make your little divot. Make a little divot in the spine. If you want to round your corners, you can. Or you can leave them square. And then if you want to cover it with your paper, you want to cover the insert cover with the paper from the Dollar Tree, you can. And the washi, you can decorate them just like I did these. Okay? Just like I did those. So that's how you make your inserts. Very simple. If you use graph paper, you can't really use line paper because, unless it's big line paper, because in order to, the way you're going to fold it to get the 8.5, to get the width, your lines are going to run this way. They're not going to run this way. So if you feel so inclined, if you want to print line paper on 8.5 inch paper, you can do that. Just do your lines in landscape mode, and then when it prints out and you fold it, it'll be the right way. Okay. So that's your inserts. Now your cover. This is what I used for the cover. Again, you're going to cut on the open end, and I think I made it. Let's do a 1-inch spine. So if I want it, say I want it 5.5 inches. That's 11. With a 1-inch spine is 12. So that's 6. So do you understand that? If I want it, I want my insert to be 5.5. My cover to be 5.5 inches wide, and I want a 1-inch spine. So 5.5 inches is only 1/2. So 5.5 and 5.5 is 11, because you need it for both sides, is 11, and then 1 inch for the spine makes it 12, which, because you're going to cut it folded, is 6. All right. If you were cutting something open, you would have to cut it 12 inches. Okay. So I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. And again, you don't need a paper trimmer to do any of this. You can do it all with scissors. And I want it 8.5 inches tall. So make sure when you cut your 8.5 inches, you're cutting from here. You don't want to cut off your pockets. Unless you don't want pockets, then it doesn't matter. But if you want pockets, cut it from the top. 8.5 inches. Okay. So there's your cover. You have to tape down your ends. Let me get rid of this trimmer. So sometimes the Dollar Tree has double-sided tape, sometimes they don't. If you don't have double-sided tape, you could just use washi. And what I would do is run a piece of this is all the washi that I have from the Dollar Tree. So if you have double-sided tape, just put a tape on the outside here and then fold it over, and that's your pocket. If you don't have double-sided tape, you can use regular tape if you want, regular Scotch tape, and just, tape it around. I picked one that I couldn't find the end for. Okay. Or if you have a washi, you can do it this way. Just put half on the inside and half on the outside. And you're probably going to have to put another piece on the outside and the inside. And I would suggest gluing it. So you're going to put another piece like that. And another piece like that. And like I said, I would suggest putting some adhesive down first, because if you're going to be using the pocket, that washi is going to lift on you. Okay, and then just trim it down. Trim it down. Okay, so that's how you can do it with washi. You can just do the same thing with regular Scotch tape. If you have wider washi, that's fine. Go ahead and use it. If you have double-sided tape, that would be the preferred method. And if you wanted to decorate with the washi after that, be my guest. That's fine. So what I did here was, and I put my paper trimmer away, of course. I'm just going to eyeball it and cut it. You're going to cut a piece about an inch wide. And 8.5 inches tall. And I know it's going to be too tall, but, and what you're going to do is just either glue it or tape it over your holes in the center there. And you're going to have to fold it. So just fold it in half, or if you can score it, you have a scoreboard, score it in half, but you need to make that fold. This can come off. You don't need double layer. So just make the fold, put it in, and then tape that down, or glue it down, or whatever you want to do. And that hides the holes on the inside. Okay, and then you can do the same thing on the outside, but you're going to have to make it wider. Make it like 2 inches. And just do the same thing. Make your fold and fold it over. Let me just cut this off and I'll show you. Fold it in half. And if you have a scoreboard or some way of, scoring it, let's see. You need something fairly sharp. I don't have anything that I can show you with it as sharp. But what you would do is take your ruler. You could do it like with a butter knife. That probably would work. And just make a line against the ruler. And it'll make a nicer fold. I've already jacked it up, so it's not going to do it. But there. Makes a nicer fold. Okay. So you're just going to take that and you're going to adhere that to the outside. And that's going to cover your holes on the outside. Okay. Let's try it this way. I don't have any more folder left, so let's do it with this. Just pretend this is part of what you've cut off your folder. And then just like I said, a butter knife will probably do it. Okay, so you got your score line. And then it just nicely folds on the score line. And then just use a butter knife, just run it down the line, the crease, to make a nice crease. And then you've got your piece that'll fold right over and cover your holes on the outside. And then if you wanted to, decorate with some washi on top of that, you could. Like if you wanted to run some washi down the outside, you could do that. If you wanted to put some stickers on it, you could do that. But they always have some kind of fancy folder at the Dollar Tree. They may not have this particular one, but they always have some kind of printed pretty folders. And the file folders are great because they give you the pockets to use. So you're going to put your piece on the inside, cover the holes on the inside, and your piece on the outside, cover your holes on the outside. If you don't mind the holes, you don't have to do that. If you don't care if the holes are there, if you want to just put like a sticker over the holes or run washi over the holes, if you've got wide enough washi, like if you wanted to use this stuff, that would cover it. And then you could color that if you wanted. So that's how to make the cover. I hope I explained it well enough. If you wanted to make a dashboard, oh, and I didn't show you how to do the spine. The spine you do the same way. You start from your center. So we'll say the center is 5. Let's do it from the outside. And the center, just put any number at the center, okay? And we set a 1-inch. We set a 1-inch gusset. So you're going to do, you start at 5. You're going to do 5.5 and 4.5. And again, just take your ruler and Draw your line, your score line. Okay. You just fold on your score line. And then you're going to have your reinforced spine on the inside. So that will give you a lot easier if you do it on a scoreboard. But you're going to have your reinforced spine here. Okay. So when you do your your actual spine, it's going to stay straight because you're going to have this reinforced. Okay. So well, you know what? Let me just do the spine, and then I can show you. And this you can glue down. You don't have to use double-sided tape. I'm just doing it because it's faster. But you can glue it if you want. Okay. So now when you fold your gusset, your spine is going to be sturdy. And then you're going to have the one on the outside too. But your spine won't bend in the middle anymore. Okay, see what I mean? Now you got your spine. And it's reinforced on the inside, so it's going to stay nice and straight for you. And it's going to be reinforced on the outside, unless you don't want to get rid of the holes. Okay. And again, you can either round the corners, leave them square, whatever you want. And then you're going to take your insert that you made, and you're going to take a piece of elastic, and you can get a lot of inserts in this. You can make it narrower if you want. Depends on how many inserts you want to get in there. And you're just going to Tie this off. Now, if you don't want these showing on the outside, if you don't like this part showing on the outside, very simple. Just reverse it so that this is on the inside of your book. Trim down your edges. You see how it fits nicely in that little niche? See what I mean? And then you just slide it around the outside. Add as many inserts as you want. And there's your Faux Dori. And your inserts. Okay? So hopefully that will give you some ideas. What I do when I go in the Dollar Tree is I walk around and I look at different stuff, and I think, oh, how could I use that? And 9 times out of 10, sometimes it doesn't work, but 9 times out of 10 it does. And there's a lot of good things at the Dollar Tree. I think you can, I know a lot of people go to the Target dollar spot. I don't have a Target that's convenient to me. So Dollar Tree is right down the street for me, so I tend to rely on the Dollar Tree. And then if you wanted to do just a dashboard, you would do it the same way. You don't have to make it. You can make it so it fits around just one insert if you want. You don't have to make it as thick as that. But if you do put a spine in it, make sure you reinforce it like this or like this one. Or your spine is what it's gonna do is it's gonna fold at the natural fold in the file folder, and you don't want that. You want a nice straight spine. So just make sure if you have like any kind of a spine that you reinforce it on the inside. You can just fold it. You don't have to make a spine. You can just put your insert in and fold it around your insert. Take the insert out. You can just fold it around the insert like that. You don't have to make a spine. If you make a spine, you get more inserts in your book. If you don't care how many inserts, you don't have to make a spine. So it's up to you. So I think that's it. I'm going to watch this video. Hopefully it's not too horrible. Hopefully it was understandable. Hopefully I stayed in frame. Hopefully I don't get too many people yelling at me that that's not a real Faux Dori, but it is what it is. So anyway, I hope it was a little bit instructional for you. I hope you took away something from it, even if it's just how to make your own inserts. But for now, I'm just going to say bye. Thank you for watching. Please be kind. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.